Stop letting echoes of your old identity into signs that you've made the wrong decision because they're just echoes and it's just your brain processing and denormalizing something that's been normalized in your system for however long, years, months, weeks, whatever it is that you are trying to shift, your job, your relationship, your friendships, your housing, like however long you've been in this old identity and old story that you want to shift from, like, yeah, that's going to take a lot of neutralizing, exiting, and a bit more energy to come um, into the new identity. And echoes of the past are going to come with you a little bit, especially at the beginning. And it's so easy to let those echoes mean something's wrong. It's so easy to let those echoes feel like self doubt, feel like, who am I to be doing this? Who am I to want this? Who am I to fill in the blank? And really, it's not self doubt. It's just your brain trying to be like, but this is normal and this is not normal. And I want the familiarity and safety of what was normal because that's what I like. I like prediction. I like routine. I like where we were at. I didn't have to try hard. But the thing is, it might feel like you have to try hard at first, and then the knob is going to start going over, and your brain is just going to be like, oh, it's easier to just give in to the identity that you have been calling in now because you've been working on it for however many days, however, like you've been doing that work where it's fully coming into your field and landing, and you are putting in the work every day, you are showing up every day as that version of you, and it's just actually easier to accept this version, this timeline, this shift, fill in the blank, whatever, like this fresh start. Like, we love the new year, the new month, the new whatever. Our brain likes the empty canvas, but it hates putting anything new on the empty canvas until you can normalize it and you can be like, no, this picture is actually really good. I can see the big vision in my brain, and it's okay to work towards it because this was this vision and this served this purpose, and I'm moving on from it, right? And so the rain, I feel like today is so fitting for this topic because it's almost like a cleansing. It is a cleansing in a sense, but it's also thanking what was and thanking all the work you did to get to those places, because it probably was just a different version of work that maybe, again, you just don't identify with anymore, and you you want to shift. And I noticed the only time I actually like feel like I locked into this just start, this new timeline energy, is when I started taking that daily action and showing up daily to be this new person. And it's not happened any other time. I've caught glimpses of it. I've caught this maybe weekly rhythm of it, weekly tapping in. Nothing has actually felt like it's really, really shifted at a core level until I started this near daily practice with myself, doing something in regards to trying to move this vision into my field and forward into my life. And then through that, so much has happened with just that daily action. And honestly, like, it's hard to even speak to that now because even me maybe like 2 months ago, that short of time, like February me would have and did think daily was just like, that's too much, that's a lot, I can't even fathom doing and showing up to something daily. So how do you get over? And I think getting over is literally just action. And again, it's so much that I've personally learned through my daily action. Oh, I'm getting sprinkled. No, The wind. The wind. Oh. Do I need to move further? No. um. Oh. So, yeah, okay. I'm trying to see how I would have explained it to myself then in that moment. I think I just couldn't have. Like, there had to be a moment where I just decided to do something daily and I made it work. You know what I mean? Like, and I really stuck with it in an effort to learn these things. And it was just time. Like, I don't think I could have done this any sooner. You're just going to have this right time. But if you're feeling that energy towards something daily and you really want that timeline shift, you want to open up a space to step into the next thing, just think of it as a practice into that next thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not anything that's taking from you, it's only going to give. I think that's what it was. Whenever, I'm so glad I'm talking this out, because in the old identity, I thought showing up to something daily, showing up to showing up to something daily in an effort to live my dream life was too much. Like, in my dream life, I wouldn't be showing up to something daily. And I was really big, and still am, really big on, like, you don't want to do anything that, like, on the way there, that doesn't feel like the end of the journey or whatever. I don't know if that's making sense. Like, you don't want to, I guess, sacrifice yourself so much to get something that you want, because then you're just putting yourself in a space where you have to maintain that. Yeah, you have to maintain that, and that feels like scarcity. It feels like scarcity to do something you don't want to do to get something that you want. Do something that you want to get something that you want. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. And it's easy to convince yourself, like, that daily action thing isn't what you want, like, that's too much. But I think that's where I shifted and where it's changed, is like, I'm not saying I have to show up 100% every day and have these amazing big grand downloads and, like, life altering sort of situations. Like, that's the only energy that I feel like I really cared about and that I really thought moved the needle forward. But really, so much more happens in the 20% days and the 30% days, where you actually still do just show up no matter what, and you continue to keep proving to yourself that you will show up and you will put yourself out there and you will go after your dream. Because then by the time you have another 100% day that feels really good, you've still done so much in between that, you know? And it's not just like trying to catch up every time you have these 100% days. I felt like I was just sprinting to catch up on where I actually wanted my vision to be. So then, of course, those 100% days were just quick burnouts because I couldn't stabilize that energy. And now the 100% days, I can clock them, I can get inside of them, and I can just be like, ooh, what are we doing? We're already in it. You know what I mean? I actually think I got this advice maybe when I was like literally 14, 15, because I was really, really into poetry. I'm trying to, the wind keeps moving a little further in. Let's move over a little bit. Okay. This is fine. We're on the thing. I just need to fix this tripod real quick. Okay, this is cozy. I don't know what it is about just sitting on the floor that just does feel really cozy, but this is still cozy. Oh, I love a good rainstorm. Okay, so where was I? Oh, the advice I got. Yeah, now that I'm talking about this and bringing this up, whenever I was younger, I was really into poetry. Like, I loved performers. I think Sarah Kay and Olivia Gatwood were my favorites. I've actually seen them both, and I remember going to see Sarah Kay for the first time. I think maybe only time still. And there was like a Q&A, like you could go, or not a Q&A, but you could just go up and talk to the poets that performed. And there were like 4 or 5 of them. And I was just standing in line. It actually wasn't even my question. And it wasn't Sarah Kay, it was one of the other poets that answered. But I think it was like, what's your daily writing routine for poetry or whatever? And, or not daily, I don't even think they asked the daily. They were like, how do you like get in the flow of writing poems or something like that? And she had responded with, it has to be daily. And you're probably only going to have one poem you like a month that you want to perform, and but like, because you're doing it, you have this muscle. And when the muscle is built, you actually have the technique and like the muscle to do that 100% poem that you love that month. And if you don't create the space every day, it might not come through. And I just remember that when I was there and I was writing poetry, and I did start to do that. And I really did like find the bangers of the poetry, and the ones that I wanted to perform. And there are so many that I would never perform or never share or never publish even. And it kind of feels like that now, like in this season, but I'm committing to, entrepreneurship and creative dream life, and like, what do I actually want to show up and create every single day or make space for? And yeah, maybe not every single one, video, writing piece, like whatever it is going to be that banger, but there's still going to be something beautiful about making the space every day for that. And if we want to circle that back to the echoes of the old identity, past, like literally February me thought that doing something daily was taking away from my life for some reason, even though this is like what I said I wanted, what I feel, it was just like, I shouldn't have to do anything daily. Like, that's so much. And really it's not about actually doing something daily. It's about meeting yourself daily and recognizing that you do have that source, and you do have something to say every day and have something to create every day. And I really just don't think that you can fully understand that you do until you start doing it. Like, no one's going to convince that of you. No one's going to like help you enough to know that within yourself. It's all this innate, deep, inner knowing work. And people can help remind you. I've definitely had a lot of very helpful reminders along this journey and along this way that I don't know if I would have gotten to this point at this time, this soon in my life, without those helpful reminders and practices and people that were in my field. But I would have probably figured it out eventually, but it just almost sped up the process for me, which is great. But I mean, ultimately, I wasn't really able to hone in on that lesson until I started taking the action and doing the thing, So it doesn't have to be a YouTube video. It doesn't have to be a writing every single day, but it doesn't even have to be something that you like put out there every day. I feel like, I mean, if we want to think about it, before me doing this sort of practice daily in some form or fashion in terms of like outward output to share, before that I was journaling daily to myself, like doing daily activations, daily practices like that. And obviously those were really helpful, but the difference with doing something that you're sharing is that you will rewatch it, you will reread it just before. just before you post, even if you're not editing that much. Like I'm like really practicing just not really having a ton of editing and all this stuff, just because I don't need, like, you don't really need it. But when you listen to yourself, when you read your stuff back, and you are then viewing it as if someone else might read it, watch it, you start to see the loopholes. You start to see where you're maybe not super clear on something. You start to see your frustration in a different light, in like almost this third party, because you're playing third party whenever you're doing that. And it's really so endearing to see yourself in that phase, and also I think really helpful to move the needle forward. So even if you're doing something daily that you're not posting, that you're not putting out there, reread it, relook at it, like as if you might, as if you would, like just pretend that you are, and play that third party with yourself. I think that's where there's a lot of needle moving work, and where you can clock echoes of your old identity popping up and be like, oh yeah, actually I don't really want to think that way, or like believe that way, or do that, or do this, like squashing that, like that's not coming with me into this new phase, into this new time. And it's just so easy to consider, like, when something pops up and you're like, that's not, like, maybe I'll always be stuck at this job, or maybe I'll never have friends, or maybe like I'll never get that house. Like when you're feeling those really, the more, I guess, negative, like other shadow sides of that, those are still echoes of your old identity. And an ability to clock that you're making those things bigger than yourself and your source. And your source, as you do this and do this practice, is like, I can show up daily. I can do this. I'm starting to gain self-trust, which I know I've been talking about so much in the past month, because that's what my current series is about, that I'm working with like an intimate group with. And that's been really great, but it's so important. Like, it's so important to gain that self-trust. And that's what will start to shift your identity. And then you really can clock the self-doubt as an echo of what you used to do. I think before it was just all consuming self-doubt and giving up, because it just felt like, yeah, who am I to be doing this? Who am I to press record and talk about my feelings and like thoughts about the world and this or that? And now I'm just seeing myself in such a different light, because I'm trusting that I'll keep tapping into this source and keep showing up with something to share, and that it'll help people. And that even, I don't know, help people is a weird, like, I guess that's how you would phrase it, but it's more so serve people, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It'll serve someone's perspective shift potentially, and hopefully this lands like on someone. And if not, it's me continuing to prove to myself that I can show up and I have a will, and it doesn't, I'm detached from the outcome of it more and more whenever I tap into it daily, because I'm just going to do the next video the next day. Like there's no, or the next writing, like whatever it is that I'm choosing to do daily, but there's no stakes in this one thing, like doing well. And I feel like there used to be a ton of stakes on everything that I was creating, because I was so attached to that being the one and only thing. And now you just let yourself get to be more free flowing and like really tap into what it is. And there's nothing to hide behind. Again, like I talked about that, and you're hiding behind your hobbies. You just you lay it bare and you're like, yeah, this is me. There's nothing to hide behind. And yeah, it can be really uncomfortable. And I have had videos and days and stuff where I feel out of my depth a little bit, but I still press post and I still press record because that's me working the muscle. And maybe it's 20% for me today, maybe it's 100. I don't like, I get to decide that and decide where I'm at and decide like um what I'm pouring into. And this is what I want. I'm so happy to be here and happy that I've finally gotten to this point and that I just want to keep going, and it doesn't feel like it's taking anything away from me. Like I wish I could even just talk to myself but February and before and be like, it's going to give you everything that you want, even without the numbers, even without the results, even without like, you know, because it's actually not the results that you want. Like, that's the thing, is like we want to feel this fulfillment and this soul purpose and this soul thing, and like the results are just a distortion of what what it is that we truly and deeply desire, I think. And they're just little tricksies. Like they're still good. There's still like, I won't even get into that because there's a lot of layers to that. But ultimately, it's like, this is going to give you, I wish I could just tell myself, this is going to give you everything that you actually want. And it's not going to take anything away from you. And yeah, it's going to feel weird as you're working that muscle, but then it's going to feel really good. And, it's okay if you pick something that kind of feels like you're hiding a little bit, because, like, I feel like that's why I started with Substack and I started writing daily, which they're all up. I still write mostly daily. I take Sundays off now, but, yeah, I'm still like feeding into that daily system because that's where I started. But I was just like so easily able to hide there because there weren't hardly any subscribers on my Substack at all. And so it was like, this is just for me. Like, I know people might read it and like, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm going to reread it and stuff. But it was really able to help me make the needle move so quickly and like show me so much about myself. And then, yeah, realizing like I'm hiding behind this because I'm scared to do this. I'm scared to like show up and press record. And that's what I actually really, really want to be doing. Like I am a YouTuber, but I want to be a YouTuber. Like and I am like, both things are existing at the same time. So it's hard. It's weird to use that language, and like, I don't know, still be in that convincing energy, but know that you really want to be in that like grounded, like this is happening, like that law of attraction, living in the end sort of stuff. Like I am, like this is what I would be doing if I like was at the end, I guess. So it's like acting as if, and I'm just acting as if, and I'm being bold and doing that. And like, this is what's, like, I don't know. It's kind of trippy, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. And if you enjoy what I'm saying and you're on this wavelength, you're on this vibe, please subscribe, like and subscribe this video. Like literally, I wouldn't even to say say that to people for like a year and a half, of creating, because I just wanted to hide. Like the hiding was keeping me safe and it was necessary, but it's like I'm continuing to show up and show that I'm ready now, and I'm just really excited for that. And the echo, if we're pulling it back to all that for today's conversation, it's gonna keep showing up, and there is gonna be a crazy like death of your old self, and it's gonna feel weird. I'm not like super ready to talk about that yet because it was really intense, and I don't I don't even really actually understand yet how I worked through it, but I did. Like, I know it's out of my system now, but I can't even really name all the energetics that happened because it was just this, like, almost this clear decision of, like, I don't claim any of this anymore. And walking away in this, like, really overwhelming peace that came over me, and then a really overwhelming, like, go, like, now's the time. And it's not going to take from you, it's not going to burn you out, it's actually going to give you everything that you want to show up and keep going and be here. And that's what you got to do. And I'm just claiming all of those things, and it feels really good. And even today, it almost feels like the cleansing of all of that energy. And we're going into the new moon, and it's supposed to be some sort of, like, really crazy new moon because everything's in Aries right now. And if you don't know, I don't know if I've shared on here, my progressed sun has also just moved into Aries for the first time. I mean, like, progressed sun only changes nearly every 30 years. I don't know much about it, but it was in Pisces basically my entire life. So literally all of this makes sense for where I'm at exactly. Astrology is so cool and makes so much sense of things in my brain, even if I don't super understand it. But check out your progressed sun. I'm not the one to tell you about it, but it might be of interest to you, especially if you're going through some sort of really big shift right now. Like, it just might explain some stuff. And yeah, I think that's all for today, gang. Sorry if this one ended up being a bit long. The rain just felt, I don't know, I could just literally sit here all day and edit this, and I need to still record an activation for my kitchen sink series, which I'm just loving. And I also have some new ideas for stuff for business things. I've been thinking obviously about, like, my business plan for a while, probably for a long time, but, like, never really landing on stuff. And then lately I've been getting really into it, really into the nitty gritty, and, like, really mentally working through, like, okay, what does this look like, you know? And I actually think in my maybe Friday Substack article, uh, titled, like, what are you ordering from the universe? I wrote out my orders there, and one of them was, like, show me the next channel for what I need to do. And literally today, I opened up my journal and wrote, like, I am in a new timeline. And then as soon as I wrote that, I said idea, all caps, and laid out literally my entire business plan for basically the rest of the spring and into the summer, I think, is, like, what it looks like. And it feels like it works so perfectly, and it just came so easily. It fit all the things into place that I, like, was kind of mulling over and trying to fit into place. So yeah, if what are you ordering from the universe? Like, be very clear. And I remember in that post, I was like, I literally want these few things in, like, the next 3 days, and this is, like, day 3 of that. So it works. Especially if you're, like, detached from actually needing to know it, or, like, whatever you're calling in, like, it'll come, you know, just really knowing that. And yeah, so just a lot of stuff, a lot of exciting stuff happening. I'm really enjoying making a daily YouTube video. This is, like, day 4, and I kind of didn't even mean to do that. I was just like, I have another idea, and I'm like, oh, I'm posting daily. Like, do I just keep up with this? Like, as long as it feels aligned, you know? Why not? It's what I truly want to be doing. So you'll probably catch me tomorrow. it still feels nerve-wracking for me to like commit to something. Um, but I also know that I speak kindly to myself whenever I am disappointed or fail at something. So I really shouldn't fear that, but really the intention is showing up daily. If it comes through a YouTube video will be made. If it comes through writing, it'll be there. If it comes through my walk and that's it, it'll be there, you know? So I do kind of want to keep that energy sacred and like um, clear for now. And whenever it shows up as a video, that's what it'll be. But yeah, I can just feel these shifts, and I just felt like I needed kind of a long talk today. So thanks so much for tuning in if you are, and again, subscribe if you want to witness this journey more or feel out these daily downloads. Anyway, I will leave you guys there, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.